Hi everyone. So do you have any of these old games stored up in your closet and you don't know what to do with them? I thought I would try to upcycle my Scrabble game. And I'm going to make a Scrabble birdhouse. So I bought this at Old Time Pottery. It was originally $24.99 and I got it for about $6. They had a big sale going on. So this just turns down like that, and you can open it up from the bottom to clean it out. So, but they have old birdhouses like this at like Walmart, or buy them on Amazon. Just a basic wood birdhouse. But I'm gonna glue these pieces onto the birdhouse, which will be fun because I can actually set them up into words and, you know, just play around with it a little bit and see how it looks. And this is a napkin ring I got at a thrift store. It was a whole pack and it was about $2. I think I got it at Goodwill. So I'm gonna spray paint this clear just to give it protection outside. And I'm gonna spray paint the birdhouse black, a satin black, so that'll be the background, and I'll put the square pieces on top of that. And this is a tray I'm going to use too. Alright, so I'm going to get started. Okay, so I let this dry overnight. Everything's black. I left the inside natural for the birds. But, so now I'm ready to put the little tiles on here, so I'm going to dump this out. Okay, I'm going to set these all up and flip them over. Okay, so this is the fun part. When I glue these on, I'm actually going to make some of them into words. And I'm also going to put the words welcome across the top here. I wanted to use one of the Scrabble trays. I'm going to glue it onto the top like this, and I'm going to put the words welcome across the top. So I'm going to do the front first. I'm going to flip it back and start gluing some of the letters onto the front here. Okay, I started off by making a few words related to birds with the welcome on the top. And then these will be the filler tiles. Okay, I decided to leave space between the letters because I thought that would look nice, and plus if I put them right next to each other, I think I would run out of tiles. Alright, so the glue I'm going to use is, I bought some wood glue and it dries clear, so that's what I was looking for. So I'll use these for all the tiles. Okay, I just kind of eyeballed it for spacing, so I think that looks good. I hope that glue dries clear like it says. So I'll let this dry for a little bit, and then I'll do the sides and the roof. Okay, while the front is drying, I'm going to go ahead and glue these tiles onto the tray. I think I'm going to spread them out like this. Put a little space between the letters. So I'm going to use GE silicone to glue the tiles onto the plastic. Wood glue wouldn't work on plastic, so and GE silicone is what I usually use for my glass projects. I'll use the GE silicone or JB Weld epoxy for my bird feeders. This works really well for outdoors. The silicone usually dries up in the tip, so I usually will put this plastic over it and then screw it on, and that keeps it from drying out. It's just a tip that I thought I would let you know in case you have a problem with that. Okay, so I wanted to fill in this little space here, so I'm going to put a red gem there for decoration, and I put a little bit of white acrylic on the back so that it'll stand out from the black. Okay, now I'm going to glue this napkin ring on here. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is put this sign on the top. And glue it on like that. Okay, everything's glued up, so I'll just let this all dry overnight. And that glue did dry clear, so that's good. Tomorrow I'll probably put a clear coat of spray paint on here. Alright, so I'll finish it up tomorrow. Okay, so everything's dry. I let it dry overnight. But I did run into a problem. The GE silicone, which I thought would work for the plastic and for this ring, didn't hold up. It just wasn't drying right. So I had to take these two things apart and wipe off the silicone, and then I used epoxy instead. I just glued it all back together with epoxy, and that's holding really well. So you just kind of learn as you go along, and the silicone works great for glass, but I'm using JB Weld and for plastic, and that works a lot better. So alright, so I'm going to bring this outside and spray some clear coat on it, and then we'll be ready to hang.